12 Days of Beardsmas, day number 4. We're going to announce yesterday's giveaway winner. We're going to have a new giveaway today. We're going to highlight a company, and of course, we're going to start off with a history lesson. Same request, if you don't mind, please consider hitting that thumbs up if you're excited for this video, and let's jump right into it. Today, our facial hair figure of history is going to be, boom! Do you know who that is? Did you know? Well, you saw the title, so I'm sure that you did, but this is pronounced Vercingetorix. Now, he was known as the king of the Gauls. The Gauls were these warlike people that were split into different tribes, and this is what I taught, guys. Most of you know that I am a former middle school history teacher, and I taught early US history, and I taught ancient world history. Well, this is one of my favorite time periods to teach about, whether it was Cincinnatus starting the Roman Empire and getting it to where it really needed to go, or whether it was Hannibal fighting back, or it was the Gauls. There's so many good stories. Mark Antony, Cleopatra. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on. But this one is a good one, and the Gauls always fascinated me. They were an absolute opposite of the Romans. They were warlike people. They wore furs. They were kind of savage. They were not like the most trained. They didn't have the best equipment. On the other hand, the Romans were this like fierce machine of professionalism, the best equipment, the best training, the most men. It was a pretty cool little like back and forth. So who is this guy? Who is Vercingetorix? Well, his dad was the leader of a Gaul tribe. Now, the Gauls were these like groups of people that were in different tribes, but in the same area in France. They didn't really like each other. Oftentimes they fought each other, had rivals and all this stuff. And when his dad was leading, he was known as a really good leader until his people ended up killing him. Yeah, his own tribe killed him because we'll say that his goals were a little bit too ambitious and they weren't ready for it yet. Well, his son took over, Vercingetorix, and that's not his real name. If you ever read about any Gauls and their name, it's not their birth name. They kept their birth name very secret, and it was only known by their immediate family. So they gave each other nicknames and came up with nicknames. Vercingetorix means the victor of 100 battles, and that ended up being pretty dang accurate. He was known as being a tall, physically fit, great fighter, great public speaker and leader. That was one thing that he had a massive advantage on with growing up as his dad being a leader of a tribe, is he figured out not only the war side of things, the fighting side of things, but he figured out the political side of things. How do you build a community? How do you bring people together? And he lived this life of training, started coming up, started fighting. And then once his father died and he took over, this is the same time period where the Romans were starting to expand, right? Rome started out as a little city and then grew within the Italian peninsula and then grew throughout the entire Mediterranean. This is the early stages. This is before Caesar's even an emperor, and they're starting to take over the different tribes of the Gauls. While Vercingetorix goes to his council of elders, the OGs, we could say, and they were like, no, do not fight Rome. We need to work with them. Essentially, Rome would say, hey, if you pay us and you give us men to fight in the army, we'll leave you alone. You can do your thing. And the elders were like, let's do that. Vercingetorix said, no, we're going to fight them. Might say we're going to verse them. And they did. They fought this Roman group that was expanding and going out and trying to take over this land, and they won. They not only kicked Rome out of their area, they kept pushing back, and they went and completely destroyed a Roman settlement to the point where they took all of their storage of food and supplies and weapons, and they spread it out to the other Gaul tribes. Now, this was brilliant, right? He could have kept it to his tribe, but Vercingetorix said, let me go ahead and distribute it because if one of us falls, we're likely all going to fall. So he gave this great speech and sent the message out to the different leaders of the tribes and said, join us. Let's fight together. If we don't, we're all slowly going to die. But if we come together, we might have a chance to put up some resistance against Rome. And they almost all said yes. And this was crazy because they were huge rivals. They were not organized. They oftentimes didn't even speak the same dialect or language, and he was able to bring them together to fight, and not only fight in a very effective way, they kicked Rome's butt for a long time in many battles. And a key was their guerrilla war-like tactics. They didn't fight by the rules, right? Back then you had rules. You lined up, you fought each other, and you went to bed at night, you met back in the morning. They were like, no, we're going to hide in the woods. We're going to wait until you guys are sleeping. We're going to ambush your supply carts, and they just completely threw the Romans off. until around the time that Julius Caesar became the emperor, became the leader, still gave him fits. Vercingetorix was known as like the enemy of Caesar, right? Which says that he had some resistance, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Caesar and his army, Caesar and their walls, right? The Roman Great Walls, they were able to really take over and win. It got down to the end of it. He knew he was either going to be slaughtered, being Vercingetorix and his men, or he could surrender. So he surrendered himself. He, on his own, one person walked into the camp, full armor, kneeled down in front of Caesar, took off all of his armor, and said, "I surrender." And surprisingly so, Caesar had him taken away in chains and thrown in prison. I would have thought for sure he would have been savagely murdered right then. He stayed in Roman prison for 6 years until this kind of war conflict was over, and it was like the culmination of 4 big victories for Rome, and then Caesar wanted to have a celebration parade. That's what you did back then. You flexed your strength by showing off your victories, even if it was embellished a little bit. What Caesar did was he had Vercingetorix taken out of prison, had to go along on this parade to see the devastation of the Gauls, and then was taken to a temple. He was hanged there and beheaded. Rough end, especially to have to go out and see all that, but he was known as the first national hero of France. He was the first person to bring the Gauls together and really unite these people to the point when Napoleon, we all know Napoleon took over later on, he built a 23-foot statue of Vercingetorix. Legendary man, great mustache. He had different facial hair features throughout the years. That's kind of what the Gauls did. They would grow their hair. They would grow their beards, but he was really known for this very, very long mustache. Amazing figure in history that not a lot of people know about or get covered, but I love that time period so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I have a feeling that maybe it was some new information for you. That's one of my goals this year with 12 Days of Beardsmas, is to bring new facts, new people, new info for you. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our company today, guys. The first time on 12 Days of Beardsmas, and that would be a company that I am just absolutely loving everything they're doing. I love working with them. I love their products so much here, guys, and that would be Dr. Nick's. I'll put up the discount code over here, and that's going to be DanC, and that's going to be worth 15% off. That is an affiliate, meaning when you use that code or my link, it supports what we do here on this channel, and it supports you guys by saving money, and it supports that company. Now, this company is so good, guys. So good. They're out of the Boston area. It is a husband and wife team. They do everything in-house. I highly encourage you to check out their YouTube channel. I host a live stream on their YouTube channel Tuesdays at 1 p.m. called Doctor's Orders. I think you will be impressed. Now, what I'm going to talk about is their beard oil. There's something special, something magical about this beard oil and the way that it makes your beard style and the way that it makes it feel. Now, they only use pure essential oils, so they don't have the strongest scents. They don't have the most layered, complex, loud scents in the world, not the longest lasting ones. But there's so much more than just that. It is what it does for your beard, guys. I cannot recommend this company enough. Every single thing that they do is at a crazy high level. Now, I'm going to highlight the other products, but this beard oil is the one that I would love for you guys to try first and foremost. Cannot get enough of it. Number 7 is my favorite. It's just a nice, light, calm, soothing citrus scent. So dang good. Dr. Nick's, guys, give it a shot. If you don't like it, they have a 100% guarantee for your money back. Now, that's pretty dang cool to think about that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and announce yesterday's giveaway winner and then go into today's giveaway. So yesterday was a $50 gift card from the Bearded Mac, and our winner is going to be, boom, over here. Congratulations. The Bearded Mac will send that gift card to your email. Now, today, we're going to do something similar. Dr. Nick's is also going to throw a $50 gift card for you, one of the random winners. So what do you need to do? Be subscribed to the YouTube channel. You got to be that. I can check those ones. Number 2, leave a comment down below either about the history lesson or about the company. Now, this is the end of the first round. The second round, I'm going to have different requirements. So don't just skip here and assume that you're going to enter. If you enter incorrectly, you're not going to get this win. So you got to follow all these rules. And then number 3, there is a link in the description and as the pinned comment. That is your link to sign up for the giveaway. So you put your name, your email address, 100% free. No purchase necessary. Anybody in the world can win these. I am so pumped, you guys. And above all, even just for you guys to try these out, just to say thank you, to give back 12 days in a row of $50 gift card and $50 product giveaways. So dang cool. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the giveaways. And hey, we have 8 more. Let's enjoy it while it's here, guys. DanC Bearded, stay bearded and stay positive.